Alrighty, so welcome to a deviation from the Redfall playthrough. I'm your host, Thunder39. Today I'll be streaming Tormenta 20, or rather, the setup for me trying to do a solo TTRPG experience with Tormenta 20 as the backdrop. And so, so I'm trying to figure this out right now. One moment, I get a lot of things set up currently. Okay, so this is gonna be somewhat fucking going off the fly, I guess, because I have no idea how this works, at least in terms of precision. So one moment as I get everything loaded up on my end. Alright, because I got... Alrighty, so, actually one moment, make sure I got my windows all sorted in. Okay, so, alright, so, just make sure I don't have anything that would, mark me out a bit. Just, alright. Yeah. I'm closing a lot of windows. That's really about it. Alrighty. Okay, so, yeah. Here we are. Welcome to the very, very impromptu stream where I have no idea what I'm doing exactly. Because I'm literally just streaming me having to go off of this. For the most part, I am going off a bunch of resources that was shared with me with a few of my mutuals, as well as what I picked up from Roll20. So, yeah. I've already got some stuff set up in the sense of characters, however, we're right now going to be going through the adventure a little bit, as well as maybe go through a quick, like, two-shot for how this works. One moment. I honestly don't know how to approach this. Alright, but yeah, I'll be honest, I have no idea how to approach this a bit. This is me just trying to figure it out a bit. Alright, let's start off simply enough. Tormenta 20. I've talked about it a fair amount of times on stream as one of the games I've been playing with a few mutuals on Discord. Because I'm part of a D&D Discord. It's not just D&D, it's been some other DMs and players have been playing other games. For example, Lancer, or in this case, Tormenta 20, in which I've been playing Tormenta 20 with my mutuals. They've taken the liberty of translating the T20 rules more extensively, with all the races and stuff that we asked to be curated. So I'm pretty much going off what my mutual had translated, in which I will need to thank him next time I see him, which should be next week on Monday, in this upcoming week for our D&D session. But yeah, no, give me a second. But yeah, I'm pretty much going off what they translated, and if it's not exactly the same, then I apologize. But yeah, the resources I have on hand are pretty much all second-handed, and just me just trying to go off the bat. Alright, let me see here. Alright, we got game rules. Alright, so, let me see here. Game settings. Is there anything I could read off of? Alright, well, for now, this is me going off what was told to me from the mutual I play with. So, Tormenta 20 is an offshoot of D&D 3rd edition. Much like Pathfinder, as well as even a few other offshoots that are based off 3rd edition, Tormenta 20 takes 3rd edition rules and pretty much makes a whole different spin on it. I think I've not played Pathfinder too much, but I know that it has added a few new additions to it. And for Tormenta 20, I think they added different customization options, as well as a whole different lore attached to it. And so, as you can clearly tell from my assertions and hesitations, I'm not familiar with 3rd edition D&D too much. The most experience I've had was Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2. And to say the least, it barely scratches my comprehension because I'm familiar with 5th edition D&D. And so trying to explain 3rd edition D&D, as someone who's played 5th edition a lot, the difference is 5th edition and 5.5 edition 2024 is much more advanced in the sense of it being... Or sorry, not advanced. Streamlined, I should say. Sorry, streamlined. Streamlined in the sense that they removed a lot of mechanics somewhat. For example, they simplified aiming. A few weapons were also simplified too. Pretty much a lot of things from the previous iterations of D&D was pretty much, for lack of a better word, gimped and removed. Whilst for Tormenta 20, and I imagine any other 3rd edition stuff, they actually had like all sorts of different attachments going on. So this is a 5th edition, this is a standard 5th edition, no wait, this is 2024 character sheet, and this is Tormenta 20's character sheet. Do you see the difference as to where everything is right now? Yeah. Oh, sorry, my dog is just getting on and off my lap. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, but yeah. Let me see if I can pull up... I think the other character I have on hand is a warrior. A fighter, I should say. Sorry. Alright, here we go. So, this is a standard 5th edition, 2024 edition character sheet, because I remember this is a 2024 fighter. Clearly see skill modifiers, inventory, as well as even just classes and class features and backgrounds are pretty much different from Tormenta 20. Again, simplify is the key word we're looking at here, as well as, because I'm using D&D Beyond, automated as well. And so Tormenta 20, I actually have to manually keep track of a lot of things. I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure both these characters are done with point buy ruling. So I know that for point buy, D&D has every stat set to 8. Tormenta 20 has every stat set to 0 by default if you're doing point buy. They have rulings for rolling for stats, but I never really got around to really doing that, and I don't want to go through that because I know for a fact my rolls are going to be dog shit. For both of them. For both of them. So yeah. These characters are level 1. The difference is, I'm trying to think, I think Tormenta 20's level 1 is... It's pretty much closer to OG, to older D&D games, in which it gives you a 5-finger salute across the ass cheeks if you try and do anything insane. Whilst for D&D, it's kind of the same thing, but it's a lot more forgiving because a lot of the enemies kind of hit like shit. And so that's the general gist of difference. This is me going off of actual playtest, or my play test with my mutuals. I want to say friends, but we are friendly with each other. It's just that we live in different sides of the world. We don't hang out that often, much to my chagrin. But we do regularly meet up in punctuality because we all want to play the game, and we do talk with each other, both in character and out of character. So, again, mutual friends, if you want to call it that. Again, we're not like to the point where we're really on a personal name basis. We just know each other by username. So, yeah. In any case, we got saving throws. Tormenta 20 doesn't have save throws, but instead it has the skill saves. I think that's something that's in older D&D. Pretty sure, at least. So, for example, if you're doing a charm, it's a will check. If you're doing, let's say, strength, I think it should be athletics. Intelligence probably falls under will. Constitution, fortitude. Where is it? Yeah, fortitude, and then wisdom is probably also will. There's a lot of stuff here, as you clearly see. Initiative is its own skill. I'm not sure if that's like that in the older D&D games. But initiative is its own skill here. Aiming is its own skill as well, so it scales off. So unlike D&D where it scales off dex naturally, instead you have to do two things. You have to invest into aim, and then you have to invest into range style. In which range style allows you to scale dex to your stuff. And even in Tormenta 20, finesse weapons don't really exist. It exists as a skill, but it doesn't exist naturally. So let's say a rapier, for example, or a saber. It doesn't scale off dex. It instead scales off strength. And I think even then, specific weapons are only allowed to be used. So I know I think it's agile class weapons, you could use dexterity if you picked up the skill earlier. And so, yeah. So right now, I'm going off and making a character sheet. As you clearly see, I've already had one pre-made. Well, kind of sort of pre-made. And I'm just trying to, like, experiment a little bit here. So yeah, I'm experimenting a little here, just, looking around. So my character is level 1. They are a golem. A golem, according to lore text and what was translated by my mutual friend on Discord. It said that these things are just lifeless constructs, made not by gods, but mortals. But they are moved by life force, wild elemental spirits, captured and sealed by magical means in a body of stone or metal. Many become content with their role as workers and soldiers, while others show high intelligence, personality, and initiative. They can do anything the other races do, even cast spells. Do they have souls? Could they even meet their god when their time comes? Let's see. So with this in mind, I have a +1 to strength naturally and a -1 to charisma. This is cumulative with chassis and size. The chassis in particular is a pretty much subclass or sub-race. It's sub-race, I guess you could say. So you know how like human has variant human, and then you have like elves, like high elves, wood elves, and dark elves, or sorry, drow elves, I should say. Pretty much like that. Although I know that drow elves are their own classification, so yeah. Anyway, so chassis, you take a day to don and doff armor because you need a couple of pieces of it to keep your chassis. Because of coupling, your armor doesn't count against your item limit, so you can use, but keeps only being able to use one armor. Also, a material for your chassis from the list below. So, because I'm so yeah, if I ever choose armor, in which I chose warrior, I get scale mail by default. It weighs nothing. Yeah, so it weighs nothing if I wear it. Pretty much kind of sort of like how Artificer, if you wear the armor, I think it counts as like, it weighs like nothing if you're wearing it. I think that's how Artificer works. I could be wrong, but yes. So I'll get into equipment adding. So let me see here. energy source from below. You were built ready for a specific purpose. You do not have a childhood, and you cannot choose an origin. However, you get to choose a general power of your choice. This is... So, because I'm playing an artificial construct, I don't get, like, background features, in which every background in this game comes with a specific feature. Yeah, it comes with, like, a specific feature, so that's one thing I got going on. So, you can't choose an origin, but I can choose a general power of choice, in which I will go into that later, like after I go through the whole spiel thing. Choose your size from the list below: small, medium, large, plus a dex, minus to dexterity. I don't know if there's like any positives to strength or such, so who knows. Devouts, because we're made with purpose, we can choose any god of our liking. So I chose for my character, or this character, Lin Wu, the samurai god of Tamura. The adjacent of an Asian continent and realm, so to speak. One moment. Okay, just want to make sure everything's going above board. Anyway, so yeah, Tamura is home to the Jade Empire, which is the actual name of the Asian inspired place. So there's that. I don't have the full lore spiel. I will have to track down a lot of things and maybe ask my friend or find someone to translate it, or just Google Translate it and just bullshit my way through. Either way. So chassis, again, the sub race for what I want to choose. In this case, everything else doesn't matter. Although, you know, let's say Clay Golem. Your speed isn't affected by difficult terrain and automatically see it on acrobatics to pass through tight spaces. Spend a full day without contact with water. You don't recover MP from resting until you go into water again. Bronze. Your speed isn't reduced by heavy armor or encumbrance. Your armor isn't coupled to your body. You can don and doff off in usual time, but it takes up a worn item slot. So Flesh Golem, and so on and so forth. For the sake of my character, because Lin Wu, Asian aesthetics, cyborg ninja type stuff, I'm going with the Mashin, to which the Mashin comes with a +1 to 2 attributes of my choosing, and I can either become trained in 2 skills of my choice, or substitute one of those skills for Mechanical Wonder, and I'm always medium. So, thanks to my mutual friend for translating the Mechanical Wonders, this is what I can choose. And from what I'm told, for every tier of leveling, so from level 1 to 4, 5 to 10, 5 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20, I can only pick up like 1 extra per tier. So what I'm going to choose is, this is what I started off with. I chose attached weapon. You have an attached weapon to your body. It stays within a compartment and cannot be disarmed of it, and you are considered under the effects of quick draw to use it. A character in training an artisan to substitute this weapon with an hour of work and expenditure of $100. It's the official currency is Tabar, in which, from what I'm told, is silver coins. Pretty much think Electrum. And just go off of that. So that's what I'm gonna call it, Electrum. So 100 Electrum coins. So this is what I'm gonna go with because quick draw is pretty useful, I'd say. There are a few other stuff, like, for example, actually, maybe I should. No, I'll take attached weapon, and then I'll take channel repairs. Like, if I choose to level up my character at some point. So, yeah, so I'll choose attached weapon, in which this is what I'm going to do. So, attached weapon, starting... Starting Mechanical Wonder. That's what I'm going to call it because, again, this is me manually having to type in a lot of these things. So I have a weapon attached to my body in which I will classify my katana as my starting weapon. Yes, I'll classify my katana as my starting weapon, in which I'll get into... one moment, I'm going to put this down as well. This is actually something that's in the rules that were translated, so... Starting bestowed. Yep, there we go. So, Lin Wu tradition, starting bestowed power, because I chose a religion. And, I'm going to choose a general power now. Hold on. Energy sources. That's right, energy sources. I've already chosen energy source for elemental, specifically a fire elemental. Let me see. There we go. So fire elemental. So I've chosen the elemental source. Just, I guess, narrow it down. You have an elemental spirit imprisoned within your body. You choose from water, cold, air, electric, fire, and earth. You're immune to that type of damage, and if you suffer magical damage of that type, you instead heal your HP by half the damage. So, this is pretty good. This is pretty good all around, just to have. There are a few other energy sources like alchemical. Chemical mixtures generate energy to keep you alive. Spend a standard action to ingest any alchemical items. If you do so, recover 1 MP. Holy Litany that powers you. Cast Divine Spell first circle of your choice. Key Tribute Wisdom. If you learn this spell again, its cost is reduced by -1. So, I guess, yeah. Someone trained in religion can swap this spell with a ritual, and it takes a day. Requires the use of a spell scroll with another's first level spell. And then, steam. Your body is filled with steaming cogs, immune to fire damage, but if you take that damage, you get an increase to your speed by 1.5 meters for a round. Taking cold damage will slow you for the round. Standard action, MP breath geyser of a 1.5 meter cone. And creatures within that have to make a reflex save. Make a reflex save with the con cutting in half to avoid the condition, and it's 1d6 per MP spent. Sounds pretty good. You pretty much get breath weapon. The Dragonborn breath weapon, but for the golem. It's pretty decent. Interesting for someone if you want to build that. But yeah, no, I'm going with the fire elemental energy source, so that's what I'm going with. Let's see. I get a choice of general power. So in this instance, I have a specific build in mind. I'm going to go with as you clearly see, combat powers. All these powers here, they are going to be... They pretty much dictate how you play, and starting off, you get to choose which one you want. So in my instance, as you can clearly see, weapon finesse, you make a light... You can use a light melee weapon or throwing weapon. You may use dexterity instead of strength. And where's range style? It's because... Where is it? So, range style, if you use a ranged weapon, add dex to damage rolls. So, as you clearly see here, again, natively, you don't get, all these things. In fact, there's no opportunity of attack in this game either. Yeah, there's no opportunity of attack. That's only a fighter or warrior thing, and you have to level into it. But, yeah, so I'm going to choose two-weapon fighting style. So, two-weapon fighting style, you wield two weapons, one of them is at least light. Take an aggression action, you make 2 attacks, one with each weapon. To do so, you take a -2 penalty on all attacks until the next turn. If you have ambidextrous instead, you don't suffer any penalties when using it. So that's what I'm going to do. Just become dual wield because I get more action or attack action economy. Oh. There we go. Starting power. And I'm going to choose to do that. So here we go. So this is what we're due. -2. And then short sword dual wield 1d6. And of course -2. Alright, so yeah. And by default, the short sword deals piercing damage, and the range is, of course, melee. Damage attribute will scale off my strength, because by default, a lot of weapons scale off strength, aside from the dagger, in which, according to what my mutual friend on Discord translated, who is also the DM for the game, the dagger does natively come with the dexterity modifier scaling instead. So yeah. So I think that should be everything on that front. Again, this is for the starting stats. So yeah, for starting stats, this is what it all looks like right now for how your attributes work. So 5 is pretty good. 4 is pretty decent. Is also pretty good. 2 is decent. -1 is nil, and then 0 is average all around. So that's what we're going with. Point buy. You start with all zeros and get 10 points to increase them all. Going off the chart down below, you increase the points as per distributed, and can decrease an attribute to get -1 to gain an additional 1 point. So you can knock down, let's say, intelligence to go down to like even further, or if you want to go down further, you, like maybe take down charisma further. So yeah. Anyhow, this is the. Oh no, I don't think you can go -2. So yeah. So this is the pool as it were now. So imagine all these numbers are 0 across the board, and I have 10 currently. So I invested 3 points into strength, 4 points into strength to bring it up to 3. Add the golem racial feature as well as the Mashin choice, I bring that up to 5. I invest 2 into dex, in which 2 is equal to 2. And then I invest another 3 into con. And then with the Mashin chassis, I bring it up to 4. That pretty much brings me to the current stats I have right now. And of course, a -1 charisma is just, again, the Mashin. It's just a golem racial modifier. So yeah, that's what's going on for that. Let me see here. I chose a religion, as I mentioned, Lin Wu, in which the gods here. In Arton, you can work in the service of God, fulfilling their goals. A character that serves a deity is called a devout. In exchange for certain obligation, gains power. Being a devout is a choice. For example, you can be a normal knight with no obligations, or a knight devoted to Kalmir, with obligations and power. You can choose to become a devout on your character creation and whenever you level up, but you can only choose to be devoted to one god and cannot change unless DM says otherwise. If you're a cleric, druid, or paladin, automatically you'll be a devout. So unlike a D&D paladin where you're just like, your word is your bond, now it's back to like old school D&D where you're actually devoted to like a god. Like for example, paladins of Torm, paladins of Helm, paladins of Lathander, or some such like that, right? Or a blackguard of Baal, or some such. It goes on. You're pretty much now serving deities instead of just like causes and your word being your bond. So in this case, as you can clearly see here, Aratak Alihanna, Arsenal, Azagar, Hinlin, Kalmir, and Lin Wu. So, in my case, I chose Lin Wu. Even with the near extinction of his people by the Torment, in which the Torment is hell, the honored samurai god never faltered, never lost his dignity. Today the Jade Empire is freed from the storm, its inhabitants return to its great reconstruction. Lin Wu and his people will always be grateful to the Gaijin companions for their friendship and support during the nightmare years. Maybe for this reason, according to speculation from his Shingenja's servants, devout of Lin Wu acting far from Tamura receive different powers more convenient to their mission. Beliefs and goals promotes honor above all, protect Tamura and the reign of Arton, practice honest courage and courtesy and compassion, show integrity and dignity, being loyal to companions, and seek redemption after being dishonorable. The holy symbol is a holy plate with a silhouette of a celestial snake dragon. The preferred weapon is the katana, and the devouts are natively dwarves, knights, warriors, nobles, and paladins. Bestowed powers are Lionheart, Divine Ki, Empty Mind, and Lin Wu's Tradition. Your obligations and restrictions are as follow. Old prohibitions about foreign devouts or females no longer apply, although devouts of Lin Wu must still show honored behavior, never resort to lie or subterfuge. In terms of games, they are forbidden from attempting any action that requires trickery, stealth, or thievery checks. So already, we're pretty much kind of gimped from doing stealth. Pretty much the direct way, or, third-party way, from what my DM has described, is allowed. So, pretty much, as long as I, or this character, doesn't perform anything within these checks directly to lying and such, it's pretty much, you pretty much can't do that. So yeah, there are a few other gods here that I might actually look into for the second character I'm gonna roll up. Like, for example, no. This is actually something I kind of sort of laughed at with my group, is Valkyria. The goddess of ambition has always been the most audacious among her own, helped to create the Lifu, the torment itself. Among would come to create humans, the most impetuous and belligerent of folk, would end up condemned to captivity until she was rescued by her own protege, elevating her own glory ever higher. Or did she plan it since the very beginning? When Master Arsenal defeated Kian to take his place as god of war, Valkyria's highest goal was finally achieved. A human overcame a god. This event, and also the death of the old leader, Tauron, caused the gods to acknowledge Valkyria as the new leader of the pantheon. Her beliefs are to practice optimism, evolution, rebellion, defy limits, long for the impossible, combat evil, oppression, and tyranny, protect liberty, accept the new and different, and adapt to it, show ambition, passion, and courage, enjoy and love life. The statue of her holy symbol is a statue of Valkyria, or 6 entwined bands. She prefers a flail. She has adventurers. Members of all classes can be devouts of Valkyria. Bestowed powers are impossible longing, weapon of ambition, Lionheart, and divine freedom. And her obligation and restrictions. Valkyria hates conformity. Her devouts are forbidden from settling down in one place. They can't stay for more than 2d10 plus 10 days in the same city or village, tribe, town, or 1d4 plus 2 months in the same kingdom. Devouts of Valkyria are also forbidden from marrying or forming any stable union. And so, upon me hearing that, I joked with my group that Valkyria is just a goddess of one-night stands. It's just the excuse of just oh, sorry, babe, but I'm devout of Valkyria, so out the door you go. I even kind of joked beyond that that Valkyria's devouts can't be friends with anyone. They're just constantly alone. It's technically, friendships are a stable form of union, and so they're just constantly lonely and just having one-night stands. That's hilarious. But yeah, I'm probably not going to choose this one. Not natively, at least. So there's that. And so, real quick, going over to bestowed powers, there's a lot of things, all of which are attached to the gods. But the one that I need, the one that I chose most of all, was Linwu's tradition. In which Linwu's tradition is very interesting, for the simple reason that you consider katanas as simple weapons, and if you're proficient in martial weapons, gain +1 to margin with them. So, yeah. Normally the katana, which is an actual... Yeah, the katana is an actual weapon in this game, much like an older D&D, in which... let's see here. The weapons are as follow. This is the list here. So, as you can see... dagger +5 to thievery to conceal his weapon, dexterity. Spear can be thrown, javelin can be used as a melee weapon, but suffer -5 on attack check. Light crossbow uses reloading as movement action, sling, short bow as such. And then you have moving down, because the katana is an exotic weapon. The katana has a 19 to roll crit rating. So 19 to roll crit rating. And it's 1d8/1d10. It's adaptive and agile. So this can be used as a two-handed weapon. So he has a two-handed weapon. The bastard sword, also a two-handed weapon. And so, as you clearly see here, when it comes to a lot of these weapons, they all have like specific like critical modifiers attached to them. So, much like in D&D, T20 has nat 20s, which is pretty much critical. However, the critical also like changes with the damage. So by default, I'm pretty sure criticals deal double damage by default. Yeah, a lot of weapons deal double damage by default. However, some of them have like special things, like for example, daggers, short sword. The chance to get critical, you need to roll 19 instead. So let me change that. You roll a 19 and it deals double damage. So there's that. Everything else, just roll a nat 20, you deal double the damage. Short bow, roll nat 20, deal triple the damage. And of course, going down to the katana, it deals double damage on a 19. And so, because I have Linwu Tradition, it reduces that margin for critical chance by 1, meaning I have to roll an 18 to deal double damage. And so that's the thing with this. It's pretty interesting and extensive to some extent. And it's not on the list here as well, but I'm also going to add like a bunch of other stuff to this, in which let's see here, starting gear, first level characters start the game with items chosen by the origins, the following items. So you get a bedroll, a backpack, and a traveler's cloth. Let me add that. So traveler's clothing. So bedroll is like 1, backpack weighs nothing, and traveler's cloth weighs well, I think it's also 1 as well. Let me just move this up. There we go. And short sword, assuming I have the money for it. But yeah, so the armor you get is leather armor, studded leather, or hide armor of your choice. If you have proficiency with heavy armor, instead, you can start with scale mail. If you're also proficient with shields, you can also start with a light shield. The exception to this is the Arcanist, which starts off with no armor. And then the money. Unlike in D&D, where you could choose like a set allowance for like each class, for example, I think now for D&D, you can choose to like start off with, going off what I have for fighter, I got like 205 gold pieces, coming from the class as well as the background I chose. So I think the class gave me like 150 allowance, and then for the background I got like additional 50. I think it was a guard from me, right? And so when it comes to Tormenta 20, it's roll for cash instead. D&D has this as well, but it's not commonly used for adventure leagues, and yeah. So, in this case, because I don't have any money on hand, what I'm gonna do is... Yeah, what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna see how much cash I start off with this character. So, 4d6. Let's see here. 4d6... 17. Yeah, it's just 17. So that's how much I get. So, 17 to bar. That's how much cash I got on hand. And running the list real quick, the short sword is worth 10. So I have 7. God, this is insufferable. Okay. Let me roll, make sure my math is right. Yes. So I get 10 to bar. 10 to bar expended. And let me see here. I want to get like a few other supplies as well. So adventuring gear. And actually general items. Let me see. So general items. Where's the rope? Because I want to pick up some rope. Let me see. So rope, 1 to bar. Okay. And the rope is 30 feet as well, so... Alright, so got some rope. I will... Yeah, I got some rope. Alright, so yeah. Some rope purchased. I don't need rations, so pretty much my character doesn't need to eat. He's artificial. Racial, artificial construct, gain dark vision. I cannot take advantage of mundane healing items, so anything that's like, for example, a healing salve and balm, I can't use that, but I can use potions because they are classified as magical. So yeah. Healing skill doesn't work on me, but craft artisan can be used in place. So, alright, yeah. Okay, so I got rope, I got this, I got that. What do I want? I want to get like one more thing. Oh yeah, that's right, the shuriken, in which I remember this is something I saw because... This is something I saw, so let me see. I think it was like 0.5 for the shurikens. So I know they weigh like 0.5, right? One moment. Let me look this up real quick, because I'm looking on the Discord that I'm a part of again. I'm not showing the Discord. Oh man. I like some privacy for myself, yes. There are some things I must keep to myself. Let's see. Shuriken, shuriken, shuriken. Where is the shuriken? Ah, here we go. Shurikens. They weigh 0.5 and they cost 1 to bar each. And they deal 1d4. The benefit of the... Yes. So the benefit of the shuriken is that... I'm going to buy like 5 of them. May as well. So I got 1 to bar now. 1 whole fucking to bar! So the benefit of the shuriken, from what I can distinctly tell you, is that the shuriken... Because it's a thrown weapon, it actually scales off strength. Hold on, let me I need to make sure. I need to double check on the... One moment. Because I think I skipped over like one thing right now. 1d4 times 2. Okay, there we go. It's a standard times 2 modifier. There we go. Alright, so 1d4, and it needs to roll nat 20. So I'm pretty sure it's piercing. Let's just say piercing. Range, short, so upwards to 6 feet, I think. Scales off strength because I'm throwing it, so I could deal like 1d4 plus my strength. So reliably 6 to 9 points of damage throwing this thing. Alright, so yeah. Because it's a thrown weapon, it scales off my melee skill. In which I forgot to scale up my chosen skills. In which, because I chose Mashin, real quick, Golem, Mashin, I could become trained in one skill. So I'm going to choose Diplomacy for my one skill. Alright. So Diplomacy for my one skill, and I'll take up Warrior. So Warrior, I get to choose melee or aim along with Fortitude, and +2 to my... to one skill of my choosing, in which, let me... one moment. I will... Alright, so melee, Fortitude, and then let me see here. +2 of my choosing. So I will take Initiative, and I will take Athletics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that is right. Okay. I have 5. So 5 to all these things here. 4. Yeah, so... yeah, this comes out right. Okay, right. Excellent. So, these don't really matter right now. But, yeah, alright, yeah. I'm just right now reviewing to make sure that this is correct. Yeah, I'm just making sure this is correct. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is correct at least. So, my character is a medium size. I have 1 to bar. This is all the stuff I bought. I have some range capability. It's not that great in the sense of, like, you know, great range. But yeah. So, alright, yeah, this is pretty decent. Armor class leaves much to be desired, but there's not much I can do about that. So, yeah, alright. I think this is pretty set in stone right now. Alright. Alright. Okay, so this is Ryukage, our leading man for this story. If I ever get it, like, properly composed right now. So that's our leading character. Let's create one more character, shall we? Everybody, meet Vera. Let's just... one moment. Shh, don't say anything, Okay. So, this is Vera, in which this is going to be something that I'm working on scratch right now. So I had settled on the idea of using a Dalahan as Vera's character sheet, or as Vera's basis. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm correct on that assessment. There are times half-dryads were very, very rare. Born of the improbable union between dryad, a forest fae, and a human, they were considered mere legends. Even so, just one of them was enough to make their race known in all the realms. Lysandra of Galerysra. After a dramatic campaign to try and resurrect the Paladin of Arton, not only was she became the greatest druid warrior in the world, but also the high priestess of Alihana, and one of the most powerful mortals to ever exist. For some reason, something changed. Recently, young half-dryads have started showing up around the rain, the majority of which came from the deep woods, being raised by animals or fae. Others mysteriously were born into human families, all female. There are rumors of male half-dryads, but none confirmed. Anyway, since these are not necessarily children of dryads, they have gained a new name, Dalahan. To this day, no one has an answer to the mystery of their origin. Alihana herself must be responsible, but to what purpose? An attempt to help my people protect the forest, some say. An answer from Mother Nature against the torment. Others theorize a counterattack from the primordial forces of Arton against the Crimson Storm. Although they have a strong connection to the gods of nature, not all Dalahans became druids. They've been seen embracing the most varied careers, from arcanists to buccaneers, and even inventors and knights. Dalahan are agile and wise, but also a bit rough. Like the old trees inhabited by the souls of dryads, Dalahan have varied physique. Some are muscular, others slender, some even curvy. Their hair with leaves can be green, red, or golden. In some, color changes according to the season, but their eyes are invariably green and bright. Not rarely, their head decorated with a stem and delicate ligamentation like a fey antenna. It's common to see flowers sprout in their hair, along with the occasional butterfly and ladybug coming from God knows where. Being new arrivals to Arton, the lifespan of Dalahan is unknown. Many have lived long lives maybe they live as long as the Elder Oaks, or more. Maybe they truly never age, so long as there's natural life in the world. Tempting. Let's see what they get. +2 to wisdom, +1 to dex, -1 to intelligence. So a bimbo. Oh yeah, that's just great. Alright, let's just set the zeros across the board real quick as I'm going to point by. Plant friends, control plants, key attribute wisdom. So, Alihana's armor can spend a movement action and 1 MP to transform your skin into tree bark. Gain +2 to defense until the end of a scene. Okay. Wild empathy. Communicate animals via body language and vocalizations. You can use handling to change the attitude of or persuade animals. See diplomacy. You receive this ability again. Gain +2 in handling. Let's see. What do elves get? Because some of these are... Oh wow, that's pretty good. Okay. I'm probably not going to go with goblin. Okay, so we have Lifu, which is the equivalent of being a... they're pretty much the equivalent of tieflings. So, Child of Torment, monster-type creature, +5 to resist, caused by Lifu or the Torment. So we got Minotaurs. Queren. What? Queren are magical beings, not in the curiosity, Wina. What do they got? +2 to charisma and to intelligence, but -1 to wisdom. Wish. If you cast a spell someone asks you in the last turn, the cost of the spell reduced by -1. Making a wish to a Queren is a free action. Elemental resistance. Gain. According to your ascendance, you gain resistance 10 to a type of damage. Cold, electric. Oh, so these are Sylvans, pretty much. Okay. So we got Sylvans, we got Halflings, the Hin. We got Krillins, or Kilren. Pretty much tall gnomes. Terrifying, I know. Medusas. And we have Ostian. Tritons. +1 to each stats. Sea Song, Triton Mastery. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Amphibious transformation. Sylph. Sylph. Butterfly wings. Your size is tiny. Surregal. Alright, yeah, you got, these guys are the, what was it? Damn, it's on the tip of my tongue. They're the goatmen from Greek mythology. Satyr! There we go! I knew it was on the tip of my tongue. Satyr. These are satyrs, it looks like. And then we have trogs. They're just lizard men. Not dragonborn or kobolds, just lizard men. Alright. I think I might just settle for Dalahan. That's what I was going for in the first place. And, yeah, the Quarren, from what I can see, they're pretty much like genies mixed in with being a, yeah, the genies mixed in with being, like, Sylvans, or, no, not Sylvans, well, what did I call them before? Genasies. Yeah, they're pretty much genie slash Genasies. Minotaur is self-explanatory. Goblins as well. Elf as well is also self-explanatory. So, alright, yeah, okay. Alright, let's go with Dalahan. Why not? Alright, so let's sort out the point buy situation. So, as well as what class I want to go at as well. I was thinking maybe going for... I want to go for maybe a brawler. Let's see here. So brawler starts off with 20 HP. This is unnecessary, but let's see what the start off with at least. 1d6 as well as a lightning strike. And at second level, third level, they get thick skin, in which add constitution to defense, limit only if you're not wearing heavy armor. In which I'm probably not gonna... Yeah, no. So, alright. So, heavy armor at third level. Alright. We got Combo Master, Martial Dance. What? Acrobatics and Performance Training. Ooh, now that's something. Oh, but this is... it's... Elusive Swagger. Streets of Rage. Alright. Thing is, I do wanna have this one actually have, like, healing abilities, too. I might go for Cleric. Although, that would kind of be a pain in the ass. Faithful Devout of a Major God. So we get 2 bestowed powers instead of 1. Wild Empathy. So Wild Empathy, Magic, and Faithful Devout. I could also get an Animal Companion as well. A lynx, an eagle, a crocodile, a moose, a possum, or a crow. Okay. Actually, what was that one of my other mutuals was playing as? Arcanist. Crimson Lineage. Supernatural Lineage. Okay. You know, for the sake of posterity, I'm just gonna go with the Brawler. And then for gods, I remember seeing like one of the gods being something specific. Let me see. What was the one god that was like that just avoided killing? Let me see, because I know that. Let's see, Thetis, generous god of resurrection, prophecy, represents forgiveness, tolerance, and second chances. His biggest gift is prevention of mistakes. Prevention or correction of mistakes, though predictions that avoid these mistakes or aversions of death they may cause. For Thetis, no one should be punished for making a mistake, and all deserve the chance to learn their failures. Instead of dying because of them, It is said his clerics are bestow powerful powers of prophecy and resurrection. His paladins never die. Protect life and those in need another chance. Disown death and lies. Help the lost find their way and reach their destinies. Offer mercy, forgiveness, and redemption. Okay. Obligations. Bestowed powerful merciful attack. Devout of Theatus are forbidden from killing intelligent creatures. They can attack and deal damage, but never cause death. For this reason, Devout of Theatus prefer weapons and attack that knock out their opponents or cause non-lethal damage. Okay. Merciful attack, gift of immortality, gift of prophecy, gift of resurrection. Okay. That's interesting. Well, wait, hold on. What's the... Brawlers? Okay. Yeah, now we're cooking. Abandoned by Glorians, Exuberant Goddess. Selves, Arcanist, Bards. Just like magic should never be denied for those who search it, devout to witness, kindness, and generosity of their gods, never refusing a plea from help from anyone, forbidding killing magical creatures. Okay. So I might go for Theatus, which is close to Aethys. I'm sure someone was playing, that Obsidian game. Let me run through this, because I know there's like a few Selena, revere and protect the life. Cannot cause lethal damage or HP loss to living creatures. Giving bonus to lethal damage is also forbidden. They can cause non-lethal damage and harm enemies in game terms, cause conditions, so long as not to cause lethal damage or HP loss. For devout of Lena, it's preferable not to lose one's own life than to take another's. Only women can be devouts of Lena. A cleric must give birth to at least one before she gains divine powers. And a few... Okay. Paladins of Lena may be men. They're the only male devouts, or women. Okay, well, this is... Even the most violent and cruel of gods are still respectable as a child goddess, giver of fertility or nourishment in life itself. Lena isn't worshipped by adventurers in need of magical cures, but by farmers to supplicate bountiful harvests, caretakers yearning for health in their animals, and every pregnant woman soon to give birth. Served by exclusively by women, the goddess of life offers the powerful healing miracles witnessed in Arton. I'm torn between either making it Lena or Theatus. Let's go with... Either Theatus or... Alright, for the time being, I'm gonna go with Theatus. Alright, so we're gonna go with Theatus for this one. Let me see. This is going on longer than I expected. Well, no, it's going as long as I expected it to. So, let me see. So, now we just gotta choose origin. Yeah, no, just choose... Yeah, hold on. Let's sort out certain things right now. I'm choosing Brawler, right? So, Brawler. Let's see here. Where is it? Brawler. What's this about? Athlete. Same as Brawler. Athletic feat. Brawler power. So athletic feat. Athletic throw. Brawler power. Muscle might. Thick skin. Brawler power. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. So, athlete. Athletic feat. Make a skill check. Spend... Oh, okay, I see. For the time being, I'm just gonna go with stock brawler, so... Let's go with that. Set the HP to 20. So set the HP to 20. 3 MP per. There we go. Okay, so... Unarmed strike. Damage is going to be 1d6. So 1d6, and trying to see here. Doesn't say anything. I might change this out later down the line, but for now, yeah. So 1d6 should be bludgeoning damage. Bludgeoning, we're gonna go with melee. And this scales off strength too, right? Okay, so... Alright, we just need the level 1 stuff. And the skills will be fortitude and melee. So let's go with that. Fortitude, melee, and from the following that I choose. Athletics, so initiative is going to be important. Acrobatics. Athletics. Alright, so I get a total of like 6 skills, if I'm reading this right. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so just one more to round this off. Go for reflex. Alright, so reflex. What the fuck is this? Cat burglar. Alright, okay. So reflex, and then there's the Dalahan. So Dalahan, what did I get? So real quick. So I got 10 points to spend. So I got 10 points to spend, and for the sake of just having this spread out correctly, I will dump upwards to 3 points in strength. Three points into dex. 2 into wisdom. 2 into charisma. Let's see. See here, so +2 to wisdom and a +1 to dex, so that brings up to a 4 and a 2, while taking a -1 to... Alright. Oh, I just realized. So real quick, I'm gonna dumb this down to a 2, so I can bring this up to 2, so... 2, 2, 2, 2, 4. This is gonna be terrible. All right, so it's a wisdom attribute spell. You know what? Let me see. Is there anything else I could really use instead? Because the thought just occurred to me. Brawler's probably not gonna be as strong as I'm hoping it to be. Let me see. So I don't know if I could scale this off, like, dexterity or something, that's why. Yeah, no, this is really heavy on the, let me try... No, well... Hmm. I'm trying to figure out how do I want to approach this right now. I guess for now, this is what I'll stick with. I want to have a full sheet to compare and contrast to. That's why. So for now, I'll leave it as is, and just go back here. They don't get any special stuff other than this, so at least with what I got on hand. So for now, plant friend. Plant friend, racial. So right now I'm just gonna copy and paste this in here just so that way I could put this up later. Alihana's armor, so we got that, and then we also have wild empathy. Oh, that's right, we still got the starter feats to also go off of too, so one moment. The origins. So what origin will she have? Fuck. Oh. Here we go. Alright, so what origin will this character have? Because that can also change a lot of things, too. I'm probably just going to go with the stock stuff here. So let's see here. Acolyte, graced by gods. Healing, religion, will. Church member, iron will. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like you choose like a set number of powers, I think. Choose from the list 2 powers. From the list. 2 skills, 2 powers, or 1 skill, 1 power. For the quick rules, choose only skills. Okay, so I can only choose 1 extra. Got it. So let's see here. Charlatan. I think I want to do a performer type deal. So let's see here. Is there anything for performer? Gladiator, performance, bred in circuses, fans, and a combat power of your choice. You know, I might just take Gladiator. Well, no, hold on. Maybe, I don't know. Let's see here. Guild member, merchant, refugee, companion. Pretty much someone's Lydia. Heroic surge. That's pretty much action surge. Soldier, tavern, keeper, worker. Is there nothing like entertainer or something like that? Or circus performer is probably the closest I could think of. +1 performance. So, alright. So it's either gladiator or... Let's see. Yeah, could always go with this. Artist. Yeah, artist. Okay. Fucking, why not? So, background, let's go with artist, I guess. It's either that or... It's either artist or acolyte. Let's go with artist. Let's go with artist just because I want to see what's... just like the most antithetical type shit I've ever seen. So let me see. I think it was like, what was it? Attractive? +2 to charisma that can be physically attracted to you. Okay. So, why not? I should probably also put down the prerequisite as well. There we go. Prerequisite Charisma 1, so that way have that written down. And then what was the other one again for the one? Oh yeah, that's right, performance. That's right. So performance 2. So there we go. What do I get from being an artist? God. In real life, you get fuck all. But let's see here. So as an artist, let's see, artist, craft tools, an item you craft upwards to 50 gold, 50 tabar. So yeah. Oh no, hold on. Disguise kit or musical instrument of your choice. There we go, okay. Alright, so there we go. Alright, there we go, alright. So I have performance, so let's see here. I don't know if, oh hey. A musical instrument of your choice. I guess just go with a lute or something like that. So I'm just gonna go off what is available here. So 1 lute. Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright. And once more going off what we have on hand. So 1 backpack, which is weigh nothing. 1 backpack. 1 bedroll. And traveler's clothes. Each of them weigh, the bedroll and the cloth weighs 1. Traveler's clothes. Then a simple weapon of your choice. If you're proficient with martial weapons, also choose a martial weapon of your choice. A leather armor, studded leather, or hide armor of your choice. So let's see here. What is... What is the... Yeah, what is the fucking brawler proficient with? Obviously, unarmed strikes is their bread and butter. Proficiencies? None. They have no proficiencies. Although I think, from what I understand and told, every class has basic proficiency with something. So it's like, everyone's proficient with like a simple weapon. So, alright. So, yeah, okay. So, armors. So this is where... So either I could get hide armor or studded leather. Wait, hold on. What's the starter choices again? Okay, so studded leather or hide armor. So I'm probably just gonna get studded leather, mostly because the downsides is minimal. Yeah, downsides are minimal. Hide armor is better, but it comes with critical, critical penalties. So studded leather it is. It's pretty much Gambison, from what I'm told. So studded leather. Studded leather 2, and so the defense property will go up by 3. And I take a 1 penalty. In time, they'll be naked. Don't you worry. So 17 armor class, accounting for what I have on hand as well. 22. Yeah, 22 for hit. Well, actually, maybe I could go for paladin instead. An unarmed paladin. Oh, but it's not going to be as effective, though, right now, is it? Maybe a staff-wielding paladin. Worth considering. Yeah, okay. So it's either that or actually maybe noble instead. Does scale off of... Yeah, no, noble could be interesting. Okay. I don't know, I'm really levying, like, what I want, particularly with this. I played Paladin for a short while, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, but yeah. So for now, Brawler it is. So, alright. And of course, we can't forget the gold. 4d6. Oof, that's rough. 9 to bar. Guess being an artist doesn't pay for shit. Oh, that's rough though. That is rough. Okay, so let me see here. Thetis, bestowed power. What does he give? Merciful attack, gift of immortality, gift of prophecy, and gift of resurrection. Let's see here. So let's see. Gift of immortality. Only paladins can choose this power. So gift of immortality or gift of resurrection. Oh, that's disappointing. So it's either one or the other. What's gift of resurrection? Assuming that my mutual translated that. Let's see, Divine Roar, Megalock, Knight, Divine Ceremonialist, Exalt Honor, Linwu. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, that's right, my mutual said he... Oh my god. That's... Oh, you can only do it once per scene though. Okay. Alright, well that's something for later then. Alright, so let me see here. So all there is right now is Gift of Immortality, and only the Paladin can take that. So if that's the case, I might have to re-roll into a Paladin. Perfect Healer. Take a 10 on heal check. Don't suffer penalties without using a med kit. Gentle Heal. Okay. Gift of Prophecy. You cast Augur, you learn to spell again. Reduces -1. Spend +2 mana to... Alright. So either be a Paladin or... Why not? Let's create Adam Eve, boys. Not how I exactly expected this to go, but, you know, could go even weirder, I guess. Alright. So, Paladin. I'm not sure if it's an option. I think it is an option I could forego heavy armor. Oh no, I'll have to consult on that. I don't think it's like absolute though. So Paladin +2 to my... So, let's see. Still gonna be that. So this brings it up to 5, if I'm not mistaken. First level, Devout becomes available. See Devout rules. Yeah, so, yeah, God, all that. Make a melee attack. Let's see. I know that when it comes to quarterstaff, there is... Let me double check, because I do want to maintain like a sense of like active action economy going on. And I know that the quarterstaff apparently has like something going on with it. Yeah, double. So it's a double attack. So quarterstaff then. So double attack. I don't think you get imposed. So alright. Bludgeoning, melee, still scales off strength. Nothing really changes that much other than that. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I'll just roll. You know, well, There's something I'm gonna have to figure out on my own on my off time. Try and figure this out. But yeah, alright, so add the quarterstaff as a... So quarterstaff. Let me see if any other... Because it's just the quarterstaff, it seems like. Yeah, no, it's just the quarterstaff. Okay. Okay, so... Yeah, no, alright. Trying to think on like how much do I want to expend though, because a lot of these now I'm getting into the territory of trying to like figure out how do I want to pull this off right now. And so let me see, paladins get 2 bestowed powers. So paladins get 2 bestowed powers as per blessed. I can, and so far what's been translated, because I'm not going to ask my friend or my mutual friend to translate more, because in our playtest we're not using a lot of these. So I'm just going to go off what I have available to me. So, yes, so I get to choose, add my charisma to the first level of this, so yeah. For now, I'm going to dump my constitution to 0. And I'm going to boost my charisma up to another... Let's see, how much does Dalahan got again? Oh, I think yeah, so I think this is a 3, I think, right? Plus 2 to wisdom, plus 1 to... Alright, so yeah. So I can boost this up to maybe a 3. I'm not sure if I want to do that, though. Maybe, though. So let's, for now, take it up to 3. So that's a 6 total. So that's 6 total, along with the paladin stuff, in which bestowed powers, I get 2. So I get 2 bestowed powers. So yeah, 2 bestowed powers. And she cannot die, pretty much. If there's a TPK, well, I know who's gonna make it, that's for sure. Alrighty, let's see here. Divine rejection. I'm just thinking to myself now, there's just like a atheist skill somewhere. Alright. God, I gotta get a new mouse. Alright, Gift of Immortality. So, cannot die. So, alright, Gift of Immortality. Let's see. Nope. There it is. You're immortal. Whenever you die, no matter the reason, come back to life 3d6 days. Only paladins can choose his power. Can only choose Gift of Resurrection or Immortality, not both. So, okay. Gift of Immortality, and from what I have on hand, Gift of Prophecy. Because I don't see Gift of Resurrection anywhere. Cast Augur. You know, this might actually explain the -1 to intelligence. She's up in the clouds, but she's seeing the future. Alright, yeah, okay. So now I got 2 skills. I think at this point it's just a matter of starter gear, in which, for the most part, the starter gear is just kind of like whatever. Yeah, I could choose scale mail armor, but I feel like... Let me double check the wording on this. Instead, you can start with scale mail, and if you're proficient in shield, start with a light shield. So it's up to... Alright, so I'm gonna interpret that this is my choice. I'm just gonna choose studded leather armor, just because I have high dex as is. So there's no need for me to try and, like, circumvent that. Alright, so... yeah, I guess this is what I'm going with for now. Just a paladin in light armor and a warrior. I don't think I have healing, though, now do I? Yeah, that's gonna be a pain. Yeah. Well, actually, hold on, let me double check, because I could have sworn I saw that there was, like, aura, isn't there? There was, like, the ability to choose, like, an aura. Unless that was only for Lena. Merciful attack, gift of immortality, gift of prophecy, gift of resurrection. Okay, so... alright. So... kind of sort of screwed the pooch on this one, I guess, for now. Just don't take any hits! Somehow! Wait, no, that's level 2. Alright, so that's a level 2. Can only do that. Alright. Alright, yeah, this is it for now. So 9 meters / 30 feet, because I'm an American. I don't think Dalahan gets any special racial benefits. So what I'm gonna do for Vera is that I'm gonna give her torches and rope. Let me see here. So tools. How much for a torch and rope? So either that or get a lantern instead. So, oh boy, that's rough. So lantern, 1. Okay, that's 2. Oil is going to be... so oil is about 0.5. So for the sake of my own sanity, I'm just going to buy 5 then. And I'm going to expend 1.5 for the oil. And then lastly is rope. Oh god, we are broke as shit. We are so broke as shit right now. There we go, okay. So, alright, there we go. God. This is awful. Alright, yeah, no, okay. Good thing the quarterstaff didn't cost anything, I guess. Oh, jeez, this is gonna be rough. And I don't get healing till the 2nd level either. Alright, well, I made the characters, and I barely have enough time to delve into the proper stuff I wanted to. So that's unfortunate. Still though, let's go over what I can go over. So yeah, let's go over what we can go over right now. Let me set up my stuff. So we have 1, 2. Righty. So I think it's like 24, 24. And 3, 3. 20, 20, and then 6, 6. Okay. And as well, name of Vera. Controlled by me, because who else is there here? Controlled by me. Alright, so we got our 2 characters all set up now. All nice and pretty and the like. Alright, Tormenta 20 starts with the GM describing a scene. Describe the player like a tavern, castle, or forest. Describe an event. Describe a sensation. For example, hear dark. Hears noises in the dark, a nauseating pain, poison. What do you do? You don't need to memorize every word the DM says. Picture a grunting face. Okay. Declaring your action once the GM establishes a scene. No GM phase or player phase. Just normal flow of conversation between friends. No set action order except for combat, such as group conversation. Let your friend find the right moment to speak and declare your action. DM will be in charge of asking everyone's action in the case of 1 or more players are silent. Cannot find a moment to speak. Declare your actions. For example, I will try to impress a noble. Sing a song from her land, or hide from the guard ducking these barrels, or attack the Lifu with my sword. GM role. Dispensable figure, GM master. While understand the game master's role, think of the player as interpreted not as the player characters. Party paladin wants to talk to the captain, the person who roleplays that officer, and game master. The rogue wants to hide in the alley, the game master is the one to describe the pathways. Arbitrate. Process of narration, arbitration. Okay, so pretty much a guide to how to... Okay. So we got stats, checks, all these fine things. Alright. Wounds and death. Non-lethal damage. I'll have to read some of these on my own time, but I want to cover key parts right now. And while I'm at it, actually, let me see if there's any, like... Is there any enemy sheets I could read off? Here we go. So we got the Underworld Boss. So he's got a War Axe. 140. Shit. Boy. Get them. Sunlight Sensibility. Okay. Got some other characters too. ND3. And we got a few creatures too. Alright. So I think so these are okay, so 0.3, 7 dark vision, climb speed, and a few other stuff attached to them. They have this type of stuff, bolts, light crossbows, armor. Where the hell are they getting the dex? Oh, I think this is just this is probably just because just make him whatever. They got the menace sheet for reference to cultist leader, so spread the evil. Got robbers. I don't think I'm gonna find any like critical. I don't know, what is their melee to hit? Melee is 2. But they have... Oh, okay. So they have a manually inputted... Okay, so because these are NPCs, they are going off a different ruling compared to the... Okay, so... Alright. And let me see here, because I remember seeing melee and then what? Seriously? What the fuck is this? Okay. Alright, well. Let me see here. A terrier. Huh. So we got a bunch of ready-to-play characters. What's their character sheets? Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. What level is this? Level 1. Okay, well, no, that's not bad, actually. Okay, so, alright. So I got a lot of stuff to read through, and I'm trying to get a feel for how the damage is... how combat is being handled. Now, normally, this is actually... let me see here. Normally, I know that it's said in, like, one of these sheets. Let me see here. I think it's like the inverted cathedral. Yeah, so... for some of these encounters, you need to apply, like... yeah, for some of these encounters, you need to have, like, 2 enemies per player character. In which, yeah, in which, for the most part, I'm not... I could probably do 2 at a time, because... yeah. Some of these are just gonna be impossible to do with just 2 player characters and me alone, and the way that I built up the game. So, the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna skim down on some of the encounters and pretty much invoke a old D&D ruling where I think you have to like take on 1 enemy at a time, or 1 or 2 enemies at a time at most. So a lot of these tokens you see here are probably going to be removed. Not removed, but you know, it's just not going to be, yeah. They're just not all going to be there. And I'm probably going to play on GM layer for the sake of my own sanity and simplicity. Alright, so we got 2 characters set up. Everyone meet Ryukage and Vera. I did not get to read, well, read on stream at the very least, the mythic emulator that I got off screen right now, because I don't want to show that on stream, because people are probably going to want to read the book for more extensive details, and I gotta have it on my own end. So I could skim through instead of just like have it on screen constantly, fucking like switching between these windows. There'll be plenty of time for that, but for the time being, yeah, 2 characters. Woo! Yeah, look at that. So we got 2 characters here, all set and ready as far as my knowledge extends. So I guess next stream when I get around to doing this again, I'll try and set something up. I'll try and do it beforehand, but I do want to, like, at least somewhat show the process of, like, what I'm doing to try and get this all set up. So a lot of this is going to be me just, like, again, going on the fly a bit. So, yeah. I should remark again, this is not official. This is not an official translation that I'm looking at. Again, this is like a mutual friend of mine on Discord. We're kind of sort of playtesting it a bit, see if he can run it on like the server, trying to see how well players take up to it and such. And so yeah, that's what this translation is. I just want to see if I could like operate this on a solo level type deal, in which the answer is probably. I need to figure out how the Mythic GM emulator works. Yeah, I need to figure out how it works specifically, just so that way I can actually like understand what I'm doing. So I'll probably make a one-shot, like a quick one-shot for some of these characters next time I do this again. And yeah. And real quick. So I do have the tokens, the full illustration tokens for the characters. Yeah, so I got full illustrations of the characters I'll be playing with on hand. So, real quick. This is what we're dealing with here. Yeah. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with here, of all things. This is... God, I hope fucking YouTube doesn't get me in trouble. What's that? You got a half-naked lady and a cyborg ninja next to it? Oh, God, I'm in so much trouble. For a variety of reasons. So yeah, these are the two characters as seen here on the tokens. I might do a rework of some of these these illustrations and such, but it's not likely going to be anytime soon. So, yeah. Oh, jeez. This is... Yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy this stream. You want to see more? I'll be doing this whenever I can, but the next stream is probably going to be me playing Redfall, so yeah. I gotta get ready to go to bed, and I gotta do some cleanup as well. So, yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy this stream. If you want to see more, like I said, I'll try and do this later at some point, but the next stream is going to be definitely Redfall. And yeah. Till then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon in the next one.